What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mongols. This is our reaction show where we're going to try to break down everything that literally just happened as Loudoun came to Pittsburgh to take on the Riverhounds. I am Mike Sparks. Joining me for this one is Steve Mattiace and Laura Ellen Ashcraft. Guys, welcome. This is going to be a bit of a different show because
It's wild. I love it.
This is completely unscripted. There's no agenda. The game literally just ended. We really wanted to try to get some of the immediate reactions after the game, primarily because the game ended when we normally record, just to kind of show you how kind of everywhere this is. Kaz is now joining us live at Highmark Stadium. Kaz, I'm adding you to the show here. Yep. Kaz and Liz. Kaz, I gotta give you credit on that second goal. I noticed you were responsible for both holding the smoke and holding Robbie, Danny from falling off.
Yeah, it was Danny. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me about that moment.
Yeah, I mean, it was it all happened at once, like it always does. Popped the smoke and saw Robbie coming over and was like, "Oh my god, okay." And then Danny jumps up right in front of me, and I was like, "All right, I'll hold on to him, try to keep the smoke away."
That was a great moment. There were a lot of guys jumping into the stands for the Highmark hop. Give us your immediate reactions. Disappointing to get the draw. How are you feeling?
It was disappointing to give up the late goal, but it is what it is. It was still a fun game. Just so hot.
We like it.
Whoa!
This is amazing.
This is great.
I was gonna say the guys are making their way over now, so that's what you're hearing.
All right, Kaz, I'm gonna drop you for a second. We might bring you back here in a minute. I'm gonna add Josh. I see Josh is here too. Josh, give us your read, man. How are you feeling after this one?
Disappointing, to say the least, to let that goal in at the very end, especially seeing how I don't think Loudoun looked good. And the Hounds just kind of played to their opponent the whole time instead of, playing better like I think they could have.
Yeah. Did you get a bobblehead, Josh?
I did. And then I also had a flash sale, and I didn't realize it. And so I just kind of went in to buy a T-shirt. They have really cool 1999 T-shirts right now. And then I bought it, and she's like, "Here's your free ball." And I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I got a free mini ball, too. So.
Nice.
Awesome. I'm adding Kaz back to the feed for those of you who can see. Kaz just has the camera tilted, getting the high five line in real time, which is great.
Nice.
Yeah.
Behind me.
Yeah. Like we said, this is kind of just utter chaos. Josh, did you guys stay dry?
For the most part, it wasn't that bad. It rained for a little bit during tailgate, but then after tailgate, during the game, it only sprinkled a little bit. I actually could have used more. It was really humid and hot. I don't know if it looked like it on the field, but it was so humid the whole game. And yeah, we could have used more rain.
Awesome. Well, go get something to drink, Josh. Maybe we'll tag you back in here in a little bit. Laura Ellen, give me your read on this one. How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get to do my official "Hey Sir" today, so we'll just do it here in this moment. Thank God we don't have VAR, is just what I gotta say, because I think there were a couple of places where we probably could have gotten an extra, "Hey, it's Ammo and Mondo." This is the best podcast because you just have to watch it. I don't know if Ammo can see
Everyone's saying hi.
And Mondo. Oh my goodness.
He was well, Mondo.
Yes.
There's another person.
I don't know who that is. Hi. There was a running joke before tonight if we could get Ammo on the pod. So there it is. But I feel like I just feel like constantly let down. I feel like there's these kind of moments that the start of the second half looked so like, I was like, yes, okay, here we go. This is, we have the momentum. And then to what Josh said, it's like we're playing to our opponent. And I do think Loudoun didn't look terrible on the night, but we didn't look fantastic. It's not like we were outplaying them. Yeah. And the announcers can just... I'm done. Like I'm done. And it's Liz.
I want to get Liz's thoughts here because I have a feeling me and Lauren Ellen might be negative.
I can't hear you, so I don't know what I'm answering.
How do you feel, Liz?
The worst. It is hot. It rained for a minute. That was great. I don't know how to fix this.
You're good. Just keep talking.
Oh, keep talking. Okay. L'Oreal says keep talking. All right. So no one wants to be on the show with me. They're all very shy, which is fine. We're going to do things. Mondo's waiting in the wings. You can see him right there. That's him. I don't know. It was a lackluster game. I don't feel like anyone was into it because it was hot. I feel like maybe we're not good in the heat, which is bad because global warming. And if you want to cut me off at any time, that's perfectly fine.
All right, we're going to kick over to Mondo here. Mondo, can you hear us through the helmet?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Am I coming through?
Yes, you are.
Excellent.
What was your moment, man?
Oh, man. Okay, this week's Mondo moment comes whatever minute it was that Robbie scored his goal. Because you know what he did afterwards? He almost cleared the fucking fence into the Patriot stand. Okay? He almost cleared it. This dude does not need a jetpack. He's like all sprung. He has jetpacks in his legs. Okay?
Spoken like a true Mandalorian. Mondo.
Oh,
But good lord.
good stuff.
He can
Mondo.
also, his tifo was amazing.
Yes, the tifo was amazing. For those who didn't see it, there's Ariana. Ariana, give us your impression of the game. She's already gone.
Hey! Then what's your impression of the game?
It's fucking hot. I say that. Oh, I just
You
That's
just,
okay, I
you
already
just
swore.
did. Yeah, it's fine.
This is so funny.
Oh my god. We are a high
Or
class.
send us your AC.
Thank you, guys. We'll touch back in with you later, baby. Oh, jeez, that was amazing. So yes, Mondo mentioned the Danny Griffin, or no, sorry, Robbie Mertz tifo. For those who did not see it, I think Kaz posted it somewhere, but it's basically a kid, and on the back of it, it says Mertz, and it says "Who's your daddy?" So a nice little nod to Robbie becoming a first-time father. And he had a great game. So, Steve, how are you feeling after this one?
Well, first things first. CBS Sports National Broadcast stinks. Like, this is awful. Like, trying to have to find random places to stream it is not fun. It is what it is. I missed the tifo because of that, so I got to go look up pictures now because it took me like 7 minutes to get into the game. So I missed the first goal, caught the rest. This is a game where I feel like, well, Mike, I'll say a couple things, I guess. 48-52% possession is kind of right there around it, where I don't think less possession really counts at that point. And we didn't win.
Yeah.
The other thing, though, is just like, you could tell that these guys that were subbed in after the second goal have not played as much together. And again, it's subs I don't like and lack of opportunity for the players that you've got to choose from.
Agreed. I'm gonna cut over to Kaz. Kaz, you are carrying a drum across Highmark Field. What is going on?
Just cleaning up the section, you know. Me. I'm being yelled at.
What are you gonna do, Kaz? How are you feeling after this one? What's the mood like?
The vibes are still good. Say hi to Mike. But I feel like vibes are still good. I mean, you know, people are bummed that it was a draw instead of a win, but I think overall things were good.
Yeah. Did you have fun today?
Yeah, like I said, aside from the heat,
Fair enough.
it rained and then it just got more humid after that. So,
Kaz, who was your player of the game?
I mean, I feel like we've been saying this every week recently, but Robbie.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hard to disagree with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Kaz, appreciate all of the amazing footage and shots. Stop trying to balance the drum on your head. We'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
See ya. Guys, this is crazy because I feel like probably the three of us may have been the most negative on this team, and so to like bounce back and forth to the stadium where everyone's like woo, and then it comes back to us and we're like, guys, it's not good enough. It's,
we are miserable because we
CBS
sat
is
inside
awful.
in our air conditioning
Exactly.
and watched the game. They are deliriously happy after all that sunstroke.
Yeah, I don't know where to go from here. Like I feel like there's a lot to be disappointed about, but there's also a lot to be kind of happy about in the moment. I really do. We don't typically do shows this quickly after a game, so I don't know how to process this. Laura Ellen, how are you processing things right now?
I mean, I have complete and utter, I have the ability to completely and utterly process my emotions in like 30 seconds. So I don't know. Yeah, you know, I actually really love seeing everyone there. And
Agreed.
it, like, again, just like the 4th of July day extravaganza, and listening to the podcast and folks reflecting on that day, like these are the days, and I think this format, like I miss being in Pittsburgh for this. And so this is like, I'm sad in that way that I don't get to also be just like sweating and miserable in the heat and deliriously happy because I get to go home. And then I think for like the play on the field, I don't know. I'm still mad at Jackson Walty for cutting his hair, and I know that's like a thing. And I think for me that it's not intentional, like it's not intentional gaslighting by the announcers, but they just clearly don't know what's going on. And I don't know if like they're intentionally not paying attention, but it's just this complete disconnect from what the announcers are saying and what we know has been happening over the course of this season, and not just the stuff off the field, but what's been happening on the field. And just, you know, it's like all this talk about Bob Lilly's legacy and all this stuff, and it's like the support staff around the team of the Riverhounds that's making the stadium experience incredible. Like that's what's packing that stadium. It's not necessarily the Riverhounds on the field, right? And so it's just, I think that's the part that just irks me more than anything. Like I can watch it and whatever, but then to hear the announcers go on and on about how like all this, I'm just like, that is not our reality for these past 2 seasons. I would say like it's now been like 2 seasons that if not a bit longer, that we've been struggling, and we've been having just a lot of questions as intelligent observers of this team. And so I think like that's the part that is the most grating to me about the at-home kind of fan experience.
Yeah. For those who were either there or weren't watching the game live, so the broadcasters were Devin Kerr, Mike Watts, typically pretty good. They kind of know their stuff, but there was a lot of like, well, we talked to Bob Lilly and this is what he said. And so for those who disagree, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's just kind of like, well, no, like, you know, they also said, you know, last season, you know, Bob Lilly said to us, nobody wants to see us in the playoffs. And it's like, well, then you didn't follow that up with what's our actual playoff record, because I think any team would want to see us in the playoffs because your odds are pretty good at beating us. That said, this is where, like I said, I'm torn. I'm back and forth. This is what, our 5th win in a row. We're now winning despite everything that we've been saying. Oh, I'm sorry. I told you I can't process everything. We drew. Sorry.
we were winning, and we
were winning until stoppage time. Yes, but like again, it wasn't a loss. I think that we had been talking about looking at this stretch. We said, okay, you know, we had was it Westchester? Then we had New Mexico, who's top of the West. We knew Loudoun was on a bit of a tear. We were kind of saying, well, Loudoun's going to kind of be the benchmark to kind of see where we're at. We realistically could have beaten Loudoun. We didn't. Mm-hmm. Steve, does that change your perception of the direction that this team is heading in at all? How are you processing this?
No, I think I still feel pretty much how I felt last week, that yeah, there are some things that are going better, but I still just don't see it being enough to convince me that this team is taking the next step, right? That sure, we're 2 points behind North Carolina for that home playoff game with a lot of time to go. It's very reachable. But I still have a lot of questions of what happens in a game like this where you're looking for an additional goal. You're looking for that win. I mean, Robbie's goal was absolutely a great effort. But Augie's came off of a penalty kick, right? I mean, and so, yes, we got 2 goals, but we scored 1 from open play. And it was just down to Robbie's tenacity and fight in the box. And so I'm still not convinced that we know how to go out and really put teams away and score a few goals when we need to.
I think that's my biggest thing is I feel like every time we get a goal, I shouldn't say every time, but a lot of times when we score, in my mind, there's almost like an asterisk next to it where it's like, okay, we scored, but it was a PK. Robbie's goal, the buildup for it was great. It was kind of a deflection. He was kind of right place, right time. He scored. It was a great goal. But at a certain point, do I need to stop putting an asterisk next to it and just say it's a goal and like they found a way to score? I mean, Laura Ellen, is that how do you think about that? Do you think about that?
How much did we have to pay the Loudoun player to randomly and for seemingly no apparent reason
volleyball spike it? Yes.
Right. Like, did he forget that, we're not in practice and he's not like jumping in to play goalkeeper, in like a last ditch effort that everyone, right? Like we sat there and watched the replay of it. And I was just like, am I missing something? Like, anyway, but for those who didn't see it, I mean, just like full on threw his arm up, like so intentionally trying to hit the ball. Like, I'm like, I don't know how. Anyway, that's how we got our penalty kick.
I want to get Peter's thoughts. Peter just tagged in. His subtitle is a really hot and tired photographer. Peter, we were just talking about the penalty that we got. Was it as blatant in the stands as it was on TV that was a handball?
What do you think? I mean, I got slotted. I'm like, I don't know, man. It's just okay, the Biasi one I can understand, but the other ones, it's just, come on, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. If it's like our ref tonight was not doing his job. So, yeah, players should bring their A game, but I guess refs don't.
How are you feeling in these like immediate moments after the match, Peter?
Really glad that it's over and I could go home soon. But other than that, I mean, when it comes to the result, I mean, obviously we want to win. I think since Loudoun got the last goal, it feels more of a loss and a bad draw. But I can live with it. And on to the next one, and it's Detroit, or is it Portland Hearts of Fire?
Detroit, yeah, on Friday.
All right, I'm looking forward to that one.
Awesome. Peter, digging all of the background scenery as you walk through Station Square and under a bridge. This is fantastic. Any final thoughts before we let you go here?
I really hope the tea is here. And go Hounds.
Awesome. Thanks, Peter. I wish we could do every show like this. It's totally chaos, but it's fantastic. Yeah, Bill G said 2 points dropped, starting to be unacceptable. It's tough. It's very tough.
So I disagree with that statement.
Okay.
Because we are on a decent run of form in terms of results. It's just that it doesn't give me the confidence that when we will need to, we're going to be putting ourselves in a position where we win those must-win games, right? Like in the playoffs. This is not a team that I want to take to the playoffs.
This feels like a dumb question. What would have to change for you to feel comfortable with this team going to the playoffs? Is it just goals? Is it as simple as Laura? We'll come to you, Laura.
I think quite a bit, but I think we started to see that a little bit in the past few weeks where things were much more fluid in the attack. And for the first part of this game, I feel like it looked like that. And then as soon as the subs came on, even from the first subs, I don't think they were the ones that made the difference in Robbie's goal. But it was just like, it seemed like not that the quality overall declined, but the quality in attack just chipped away in each of those substitute windows.
Yeah. Laura Ellen, I mean, I
think you know my answer. I've kind of been in this camp for a while now, but I think what we're seeing in the most recent games is a despite of instead of because of. And what I think what would make me most excited about moving into the playoffs and being excited to support this team in the playoffs is to switch to a because of the support that the team is experiencing, because of the coaching, because of the strategy, we are being successful, not despite of the support from the coaching staff, despite the strategy, the players are somehow finding it within themselves. And I think the first time we played Loudoun, there was a lot of conversation about that the Loudoun players were playing so well despite of, right, in reaction to all of just the horrid stuff that's going on with their organization. And I think that's dropped off a little. I think their performance has dropped off a little bit because you can't stay in that mindset forever. That's not a season-long mindset that you can make it through, especially a hot, brutal summer season. You can't make it through that running on anger and, fighting against the man for forever. And at some point, if you're going to continue to be successful, you need to switch to that because of right. And so I think that's which is not super concrete, but I think for me that's what I want to see. And going back to the Riveters a little bit and recognizing that there was a lot of context around that first playoff game that they ended up losing, but it was hey, this is such a heterogeneous group of players who are not used to playing together, who came together, and because of the coaching and because of their individual talent, they were able to meld together to have a successful first inaugural season. And we're not seeing that this season with the Riverhounds. And that is the shift I think that I would like to see. That would make me right. Hey, listen, I will support, like I said, the game that we were in Pittsburgh, I have supported this season before the current coaching staff. And I supported this team before the current coaching staff, and I will continue to support them as long as this organization exists, right? I'm here for the Riverhounds as an organization because I believe in this team and I believe in local soccer in Pittsburgh. But it will make me more excited if it's that because of framework.
Yeah. One more thing on Lily, and then I want to move on and talk just a little bit more about a couple things.
Like how Laura Ellen is not saying it that directly. I'm just like, on Lily.
Yeah. No, so something happened in the game.
Lily is welcome to call my phone, FaceTime me, come to my house at any point in time, and we'll have a little, as we call it in our house. Why don't we come over? Let's come over. Let's take a pause and let's have a little chit chat. Is how we. And then the 5-year-old says, "I don't want to chit chat." Yeah, we're gonna have a little chit chat.
My question was going to be, I messaged you guys this in Slack, but Charles All came off the field. And one of two things seems to happen when you get subbed off. Either one, Lily immediately grabs you and starts telling you all the things you did wrong. Or two, he just ignores you and you just have to walk to the bench as if you've been shamed. In that moment, if you are a player coming off a field, Steve, would you prefer that a coach grabs you and tells you everything you did wrong, or that they just ignore you entirely?
I am gonna take the lesson from your brother and not answer the question that way, because somebody's got to take up that. But here's why: because neither of those are appropriate things for a coach to be doing in the way that you're asking that question. That it should be, hey, good effort, or hey, we'll touch base on what didn't go well. Go get some water, go cool down, right? Like, it should be caring for the player, and neither of those are caring for the player. And so, quite frankly, I don't want to be on a team if I'm a player that's the choice I have to make.
That's a very good response. Laura Ellen, can you beat that response?
I was trying to look something up and now I can't find it. It came to me too early.
Sorry.
Okay, so there's this book called oh gosh. Well, I heard about it on a podcast called Helping Kids Succeed, but it's all about and I think especially in newer generations, right? How do you empower trainees or mentees or youth, kids, whatever it is? I think especially as people who are mentors in different capacities and different leadership roles, how to incentivize and build people up and enable them to navigate complex situations using critical thinking, how to build that resilience. And that's what coaches need to do. Gone are the days, and I have been saying this. I remember saying this the very first time I came on this podcast. No, that's not true, because I think I was here in the David Brandt years. So the first time Lily was here, and I have been saying enough with the yelling. Enough, like, that is not a way to engage with people. And you still see it like in the American football realm of this high testosterone, whatever. I think that's nonsense, but it's just not the way to in a long-term way incentivize people and empower people to engage critically in complex situations. And I think this is something that Justin has also said for quite a long time, in that if you're needing to constantly be coaching the players while they're on the field, then you're not doing something correctly, because you should be coaching them at practice and then letting them do it on the field. Right. So I digress. I also not answering your question, because honest to goodness, there is no alternate universe where I am a professional footballer playing for Bob Lilly, because that doesn't make sense. I guess there could be potentially, but I wouldn't do it. Like, I don't care. Like, they're not getting paid enough to get screamed out day in and day out.
I want to follow up on two things you've said and kind of pull them together. That for me, so much of it is you see players like Robbie, Danny, Luke, Junior, who are the players they are, despite being yelled at for 2, 3, 4 years. Like it, and that's just not. It's not fun to watch when it continues to happen. I mean, and then when you have a nationally televised game and the camera pans into the side of Bob Lilly's head as he is shouting at the field, it's a bad look for the team. It's a bad look for the league.
I mean, look, years ago, Kevin used to talk about how as a coach, you should not be like necessarily playing FIFA from the sidelines and saying, you go here, you go there. You should be coaching the players so that they are empowered in a way to then go out and try to execute your game plan. And then you talk about it from there. So this is nothing new. Guys, let's talk. If
anyone is interested in the book, it is called 10, so 102 TO 25. So the age range, right? 10 years old to 25, by David Yeager.
Let's talk a little bit about the actual play on the field and some of the things that we saw. Eric Dick had a worldie of a save, followed by do you like, is that his fault that Loudoun scored there? Because I think it felt like a soft goal, but at the same time, there were basically 2 Loudoun players left to run free. Yeah, I don't know how I feel that one.
To me, it felt like I think it was a lot of things. I think partially it was kind of, we're almost at the end of this game, and so let's get out of here. So it was like a little bit of a lack of mental focus. I also think there were several Hounds defenders who should have intercepted the ball in the play before it even got to Eric. But then I think at the end of the day, right, like, that's his job is to be that last line of defense. And I think for whatever reason now, we don't have great camera angles here at, USL Championship League. But to me, from the angles that I saw, it looked like he should have had a better, he should have gotten it, but I could be wrong. His sight line could have been impacted.
Steve, my gut is to blame the defense, but how are you feeling?
My gut is to blame the defense as well. On both goals, I think Eric needs to do a little bit better. And if we could have Hounds attackers that had those two final touches regularly, I wouldn't feel the way I do about how good this team could do. Right. So I want to give credit to those final touches. I think both final touches on those goals were exactly what you need to do when you find yourselves in those positions. And so Loudoun scored goals that they needed to score because they did what they needed to do. And if that's the case, then yeah, we've got to be better. But it's not like they were dribbled in or anything, right? Like they're still challenging goals, but yeah, you got to do a little bit better. But give credit where credit's due.
Yeah. What else? What other kind of moments from this game stood out to you, Laura Ellen? Was there anything that when you think back on this, aside from that Eric Dick save, that kind of comes to mind?
Yeah, I think like I mentioned it right at the top of the episode, but I do think the first little bit there of the second half, I was really excited. I was like, okay, I think we're looking good. And, to the point that Steve just made about having those finishes when you need to have those finishes, there were several times, I think, especially in the second half, again, based off of my very immediate memory, short-term memory here, but there were several times where cleaner finishes and it's almost like the tenacity of the finish and the mental focus. I don't know exactly what it is. But that those are the difference makers, right? Like thinking big picture. I think what I noticed about this game were improvements in positioning and getting the ball almost it was like we got it more than just 80%. It felt like we got it 90%, but then it was those last two touches that there were a couple times I'm like, oh my word, there were a couple of times I just screamed get it in the net, right? It just, but I do think the first kind of 15-ish minutes of the second half were really good.
If you say his name 3 times like Beetlejuice, he might show up. Hi, Kev.
Hi, everyone. I got a cryptic text from Michael with a link that just said, "Click on this link and join." And because I love him,
right?
Welcome back to the pod.
It's good to see you guys.
So, Kev, just to give you some context, we literally went live the second the Hounds game was over. And so because there was a ton of people in the stadium, we said, just turn on your phones. And we've had people dropping in and out as they're leaving the stadium. So I was like, you're not leaving the stadium, but you could just drop in and out if you'd like. So what are you doing, dude? What's up?
What am I doing? So I have my cat on my lap. I just finished watching an episode of Seinfeld. And
wait, did you say Riverhounds? You said Riverhounds, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they won 5-0, right? That was
sure.
Which Seinfeld episode was it?
Tropic of Cancer, when Jerry was returning the Tropic of Cancer to the library and had Bookman the investigator or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Kev, tell us 3 things that are going on in your life right now, and then I'll let you get out of here.
This was always the hardest question to answer on the podcast. Was the opening thing is, "Hey, how's everyone doing?" Like, Kev, how you doing?
Requires you to answer something, and unlike everything else, where you just would never answer.
Exactly. That's right. So yeah, let me see how I can tap dance my way out of answering this question. Yeah. I struggle with 1, let alone 3.
Our parents are coming down to visit you this week. How are you feeling about that?
Parents coming down this week. Yeah, looking forward to it. the whole is like planning out where we eating. That's everything's food, right? Like it's like, so what kind of handful of restaurants can we do? Do we have contingency plans if it's like raining outside? We have to go to a different restaurant. So yeah, we're mapping that out. We have some plans. So looking forward to it.
All right, that's one. Give me two more.
Saw Beyonce in Atlanta recently.
How's
That
she
was pretty
doing?
amazing.
Yeah.
Great performer.
You made it sound like you just like bumped into her and you guys had coffee.
Oh yeah, you know.
Oh my God. That sounds like actually something that would happen to Kevin.
Yes, it
It's
would.
like he would just be like in a coffee shop and like, oh yeah, Mike's doing his like brotherly duty of checking in. And he's like, oh yeah, I just, I saw Beyonce and we got a selfie.
Now, to be fair, you did that once with John Mayer. You were like, hey, I'm in a bar and John Mayer's here. Here's a picture of him. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Beyonce, John Mayer, same
Well,
difference.
Yes.
The story there was Riley, my wife, and I was both sitting at the bar, and we just sat down, and I was started talking to her, and she wasn't looking at me, she wasn't listening at me. I was like, this is kind of rude, and she was just like looking past me, and she's like, John Mayer's in the corner, and I was like, holy, yeah, and so yeah, that was great. I don't know. Last thing.
Did you go on any good hikes recently?
No, I went for a run this morning.
Okay.
But no, I haven't been hiking. I got I don't know, maybe this shows my age. Growing up, loved playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. They just made the remaster, and so I played a little bit of the remastered Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. Felt like a kid again, and that was really fun. So for all you people that grew up around that era, it's back out, and it's a lot of fun. Check it out.
Nice.
Awesome.
You could have pretended you were way younger and just talked about the remaster and not discussed the age
Yeah.
you grew up playing it.
Yeah.
Okay, Kev. Well, we won't keep you from Tony Hawk. I appreciate you stopping by. We'll touch base in another 5 years, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
Aw.
Bye, Kev.
Bye, everyone. Good to see you guys.
Bye.
That was
Oh
wild.
my goodness.
So there you go. Sorry, with everybody bouncing in and out, I literally was like, just click the link. Just click the link. And he's like, what's the context? I'm like, shut up and click the link. Just
That's so funny. Something only a sibling can or would do.
Yes.
And also, this is like the thing where for people who listen only to the pod, like you gotta also watch the video to see, because and here's the thing, you can like watch it and see the Easter egg, because like Mike got this weird smile on his face and I'm like, why is he smile? I'm like, this is really weird because nothing that we're saying is warranting a smile, and what is he thinking about? And before I could call him out on it, the wellness check of Kev popped up.
I like that we did a wellness check.
Yeah, that's right. This has been all over the place, this is fun. I don't care.
Yeah.
I have two more questions for both of you. One of them is, let's pick our top three. The other one, which we'll do right now, there's so much going on around this team. We've talked about it. Other people are talking about it. I've mentioned how it's hard for me to even sort of gauge how I feel about things. Just give me based on everything that's happened this season, your feeling about this team. Is it trending upwards? Is it staying where it is? Is it trending downwards compared to 3 weeks ago? Steve.
It's the same.
Okay. So the results have not moved your feeling at all.
And I think it's because it's the things I've been talking about for the past few weeks, that yes, the results are good, and believe it or not, there's only one team in the East that is better than us over the past 5 games, and they're in first place. But I don't have the confidence that we're going to win the games we need to win when we need them. There's just not, what I'm seeing on the field is we're getting results, as Laura Ellen said, despite.
Okay. So you are level. Laura Ellen, down, level, up. How you feeling?
I would say mostly level, with just like the tiniest bit of increase because of the last, but it it really is focused on, I think, again, for me, it was hearing the episode. Oh God, was it only last week about the 4th of July game? And just, just hearing the fact that like the team at Highmark pulled off 3 games in a single day, plus fireworks, plus like, I think it's all the surrounding things, and it's like coming off of the first Riveter season ever, and just the success and excitement around that. And so I think all of that stuff is just like a slight increase, but not, it's not really, it doesn't really have anything to do with the Riverhounds, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe like a tiny, like marginal fraction of an increase that you can't see unless it's, 10 years removed. And you're like, oh, Laura Ellen did have a little blip at this point in time.
I think I'm kind of with you. I think I'm a slight increase. I think that I look at the results and there's part of me that questions, like, was I wrong for going so hard a few weeks ago? But that wasn't based on results. That was based on everything else that was happening around the team. And not as far as we know, that hasn't really changed. And so in that regard, I'm happy for the guys that they're getting results now. And it's not just a bunch of losses. But it is hard for me to rationalize whether or not that is because something is actively changing versus the kind of despite of kind of situation. Yeah. So I think I think we're all kind of saying roughly the same thing. So yeah, that is
like Mike. The level of your swings is not as severe as it used to be. It's like I have a little swing now.
Yes, a little bit.
And I also want to point out there that this podcast is the source of truth. We only speak truth, and we know all things. And anyone who says otherwise is lying. To be clear.
Okay. I don't know where that came from, but okay, that's fair. Laura Ellen, give us one of your top 3.
Oh boy. I do think does it still count if I agree with Kaz and I say Robbie?
Yeah, that's fair.
Great.
Okay, so you say Robbie. Steve, give me one.
This was the first time in a long time that I think Jackson actually really, I thought, looked really much better than some of the other players on the field. Not just that everybody had caught up to him. Like, he seemed to step it up for me tonight.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. I will throw out a name and we can discuss if you guys disagree. I was going to say Beto. I thought he had a number of moments where he stepped into the attack and made things happen. Eric Dick's save. If Eric hadn't saved that, watch back the replay. Beto was standing right there. That ball wasn't going in. So I felt like he did a decent job. He wasn't part of the group that was sort of culpable for their first goal. I don't know where he was on their second goal, but he wasn't there, which maybe that's part of the problem. But I thought he performed well.
Man,
give me another name if you don't like Beto. Can't.
Yeah. I mean, I agree
Luke
with
had
you,
a good
Mike.
game too.
Yeah. I think it's though that yes, he did some things that were really, really positive, but he was also one of the center backs that was responsible as a defense for giving up 2 goals. And you've got to be in the top 3 as a center back. You've got to be doing your job and keeping goals off the board.
So who else would you put in there? Luke?
I would put Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could go either way on that. Laura
Dependable
Ellen.
Luke.
Beto or Luke?
Did his job well.
I don't know. I mean, I do agree with you, Mike. Rewatching watching the replay of that save, I mean, he was just right there. Again, based on the camera angle, I don't know. I'm honestly right. I think this goes back to what I was saying about Loudoun. There are so many things in the world to be upset about and to fight about, and I'm not here to fight about this one. so I don't care.
Okay, so we'll say that Beto had a good one, but we'll give it to Luke. Does that work? Fair enough. In that order, Robbie, Walty, Luke?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Cool.
For me, Robbie was the best player on the field tonight.
I have a feel. I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season plays out, but part of me feels like one of the reasons why the team is performing as well as they are is because Robbie is having the kind of season that we saw Dequa have 2 years ago, where it was just he kind of put the team on his shoulders and he's just doing everything. And that's not to belittle the efforts of Jackson or Griffin or Biasi or any of the other guys or Dick or whatever. It's just he's having one of those seasons that we just have not seen him have before, and it's allowing the team to progress in ways that if he was fulfilling a role typical to what he's done in the past, even at an accelerated pace or level, we still wouldn't be cranking out sort of the results that we've had in the past few games. So kudos to Robbie.
I mean, I think the one other thing I would add to that, Mike, is you're talking about a team that has scored 14 goals this season, 15 now, right? Like that would be 15. Robbie's been involved in a third of them.
Yeah.
Right? Like our offense is running through Robbie right now. So
yeah. Agreed. That is what we think. Let us know what you think. Guys, any other final thoughts from this crazy tornado of an episode that we just had here?
This was a wild ride.
I really liked it. I say we
fun.
do more of this.
If we have more Sunday night games, then we absolutely will. The Hounds' next game, I said there's no agenda. The Hounds' next game is against Detroit on Friday.
That's right.
Is that home or is that away?
I think that's away.
I think it's away, and then we come back, and there's like a stretch of more home games. It's the summer of soccer here. So Detroit, always a tough match. We'll see. They've kind of been in free fall for a little bit, which is great to see. Hopefully we can go there. We can get a win. It's a hostile environment. Come back and see if we can just keep sort of putting pieces together and see where this ends up. It's amazing to think that, we're a 0 goal differential at this point. Are we now at -1 because we gave up one? But who knows? We'll see what we can do here. Any final thoughts? We good?
Yeah.
This is great. We love support local soccer.
Agreed.
Do your thing.
Agreed. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate everybody who contributed to this episode and called in and added your thoughts and your comments. And we're in the chat and all of that. Like I said, this is a lot of fun. Let's do it again soon. We will be back with more Hounds content for everybody very, very soon.
See ya.
Bye.